Hi guys, today we're going to be reading 10 Tremendous Tales by Liz Pigeon. So let's get started. 10 Tremendous Tales by Liz Pigeon. So if you might have known, there was a Corolla challenge that Liz Pigeon had hosted because of 10 years she had been making books of Tom Gates. So the winner was Daisy, who was 8 years old and lives in Peterborough. And here are some runner-ups. Ten Tremendous Tales by Liz Pigeon. You can come back and see the winners or the runner-up, again. So, number 1, Tremendous Tank Top. School's been a bit tricky for me this week because I keep forgetting things. There's a lot going on, so it's not all my fault. The first thing I forgot was when Mr. Fullerman said, "Are you ready for the quick-fire spelling test?" I kept what I thought was a nice, relaxed expression on my face. Marcus, who was sitting next to me, said, You forgot about the spelling test, didn't you?" "No, I've been practicing," I replied. I hadn't. "Ignore him," Amy told me. Somehow, I managed to get through the test by using a combination of super good skills. My sneaky side-eye spying, heavily disguised as serious thinking. Actually knowing how to spell some of the words, which was unusual for me. So, in the end, I didn't go too badly, but it was a touch and go. Phew. Then, the next day, Mr. Fullman came into class and said, "Good morning, Class 5F. Everyone replied apart from me, because I'd been thinking about an advert I'd seen on the TV the night before. Suddenly, I heard myself saying, "Good morning, Mr. Sunshine." "Who's Mr. Sunshine?" Amy asked. "I mean Mr. Fullerman." I collected myself. But it was too late. I corrected myself. You get it? But it was too late. The class started to laugh. Ha 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 ha. Even Mr. Fullerman was smiling. I felt like I had to explain who Mr. Sunshine was. So I blurted out, "It's from an advert. Mr. Sunshine makes people happy when they book a holiday." "The tune on the advert really sticks in your head, sir." I added, "Mr. Sunshine isn't the worst thing I've been called," Mr. Fullerman told me. It took a while for the class to calm down. Even Amy laughed, but Marcus went right over the top and doubled over in hysterics. "It wasn't that funny, Marcus," I told him. "It really was, ha ha." Then he stopped laughing because he got a stitch. "It's your fault," he told me. It wasn't. At least the stitch calmed him down, though. Oh. Mr. Fullman stood at the front of the class and started clapping out a rhythm to get our attention. We clapped back. "If anyone has forgotten their dinner money or packed lunch today, please put up your hand now." Please. I had my packed lunch, so there was no need to put my hand up, or that's what I thought. 10 minutes before the bell went for lunch, I realized my packed lunch was at home. When I told Mr. Fullman, he sighed. "Quickly go tell the officer they can add you to the list for a free meal today. Otherwise, you won't get any lunch." "But don't run," he said in a wary voice. I did my excellent speed walking all the way to Miss Mumble, who raised her eyebrows at me. "Okay, Tom, I'll put you on the lunch list. Please don't forget to bring in your money tomorrow." I nodded. "Shall I email your parents just in case?" She checked. No need, Miss Mumble. I'll bring it in, I told her confidently. When I got back to class, Mr. Fullerman said exactly the same thing. It was like no one believed me I would remember. Shall I give you a note, Tom? I really won't forget, sir, I assured him. I sat down and Amy smiled while Marcus pulled a face. That was annoying. What's the face for? I asked. You will forget your dinner money, he said smugly. No, I won't. Look, I'm going to write it down in my notebook. And then you'll forget your notebook. You've been forgetting a lot of stuff lately. Tom, just saying, he added. The worst thing about Marcus telling me that was, I knew he was right. I'm not that bad, I muttered under my breath. You are. I lent you my pencil the other day and you forgot to give that back too. Or you've lost it, so I'll need another pencil. It was my favorite pencil, Marcus told me and folded his arms. Normally I wouldn't have asked him for anything, but my pencils were blunt from doodling. It was an emergency. I did still have his pencil, so I took it out of my case and gave it back. Here it is, Marcus. Thank you for lending it to me. Marcus took the pencil and checked it to me. Marcus looked at the pencil and checked it over like I'd done something to it. He got out some paper and wrote, This pencil is mine. It's not very sharp, he grumbled. I had to stop myself from saying you or the pencil. I watched as Marcus began to chew the end of his pencil, which was gross. Marcus, I wouldn't put that in my mouth, in your mouth if I were you, I told him. Why not? I can do whatever I want. It's my pencil, he said smugly. That's what I told Rooster when he picked it up, I whispered. I was joking, but it made Marcus stop. Then Amy leaned forward and said, Hey Marcus, that reminds me, you forgot to give me my ruler back. Marcus looked suspicious, like he wasn't convinced he had it. Are you sure? Let me check. He grumbled and started rummaging through his bag. Sure enough, Marcus found the ruler. He took it out and told Amy, This ruler looks like mine. I don't think it's yours. Amy wasn't happy. Yes, it is, Marcus. It's got my name on it, she told him. Where? I can't see it. Marcus wasn't being very helpful. Just give it back, please, Amy said, getting annoyed, and she reached out to take it. Marcus moved away. Things were getting tense, and I was stuck in the middle of them arguing over a ruler. Look, Amy's name is on the ruler. See? Who's got bad memory now, Marcus? I said, pointing out Amy's name. Reluctantly, Marcus handed the ruler back. He even said sorry, quietly. Well, Tom, you still forget way more things than I do, like your homework and your packed lunch. Marcus had to go and remind me of that again. I was wondering what I could say back to him when I got distracted by a waft of school dinner cooking smell that had crept into our classroom. It was a nice smell, in case if you're wondering. I tried to guess what it was by sniffing the air. Roast potatoes? Maybe it could even be one of my favorite lunches. Chicken pie? Chicken pie, which was exciting. I think forgetting my packed lunch was a good thing, because whatever cooking smells delicious. So now I know to eat that instead. I told Marcus, making the point that sometimes forgetting things can work out for the best. Only this time I was wrong. Very wrong. When the bell went for dinner, I rushed to the hall and it quickly became clear there was nothing on offer that I wanted to eat. Oh, kids started lining up behind me as I tried to work out what food smelled so nice. Come on, quickly, there's a queue building up, the school cook told me. I was under pressure to make up my mind. Not the mince, it looks grey, or the fish pie with the lumpy potato. I don't know, I muttered. Hurry up, we're hungry, one of the kids called out. Thinking, I told them. Think faster, they said. The cook told me to stand to one side and let the kids go in front. Then as I tried to decide, more and more kids went past until I was right at the back of the queue. That's when I noticed a new tray of food had been brought out. I couldn't quite see what it was, but I recognized the lovely smell. And then I heard someone say, I'll have the chicken pie, please. I nearly dropped my tray. Chicken pie, there's chicken pie, I repeated. This was exactly what I wanted. I tried to rejoin the queue where I'd left it, but the little kids wouldn't let me in. No pushing in, they all told me. I'm just trying to reclaim my place. I know what I want to eat now, I tried to explain. Mr. Sprocket came over to see what all the queue jostling was about. Come on, Tom, let the younger kids go first. There's enough lunch for everyone, he told me. I had to wait my turn while every single kid in front of me asked for chicken pie. All I could hear at the back of the queue was, I'll have chicken pie, please. Chicken pie for me. Chicken pie here too, please. Chicken pie, please. Someone please have the mince or the fish pie. Anyone, please leave me a chicken pie. I said loudly, so my desperation could be heard. I edged closer and closer and kept muttering, chicken pie, please, chicken pie, please, chicken pie, over and over again to me, to keep me going until finally I got to the front and said, at last, chicken pie, please. Sorry, they were very popular and all the pies have gone. But I've got tuna pasta if you want some. The school cook told me. I did not want tuna pasta. No, thank you very much. Are you sure they're all gone? I asked her just in case. Yes. Now what do you want instead? Reluctantly, I went for the mince and peas because I didn't really have much of a choice. Walking past all the kids that were eating their chicken pies gave me serious food envy. I sighed a lot. I found a seat next to Norman and sat down. This chicken pie is delicious, was the first thing he said. Brilliant, not in a good way. That's what I wanted, I told him sadly. Here you go, you can have a bit of my pie crust. I'm stuffed, full. Norman said and put a big piece on my plate, which tasted much better than my mince. It was only the thought of going to visit the fossils after school that kept me going, because I knew they'd have something nice for me to eat. I'd even be happy to try one of Granny's odd treats. Vegetable cake, maybe not. Back in class, the bell was just about to go for the end of the day when Mr. Fullman reminded us all that it was no school uniform day tomorrow. Then he looked at me and said, don't forget, Tom. I won't, sir, I replied. Marcus went and pulled that face again, which was annoying. I left the class and told myself over and over again, I will not forget no school uniform day. I will not forget no school uniform day. I was on a mission to get to the fossils house fast as I could, hear my tummy rumbling. Before I even rang the bell, Grandad opened the door wearing a very snazzy tank top. He was very pleased to see me. I told Grandad, that I liked his tank top, and he gave me a very slow twirl so I could have a look at, so I could see the back. I guessed Granny Mavis must have made it. She loves knitting. Granny can knit, talk, and watch TV all at the same time. I think she's got some kind of knitting superpower. One minute she's holding a ball of wool, the next she's knitted a brand new jumper and is wearing it like magic. I've tried to start. I've tried studying what her knitting needles are doing, but her hand moves so fast that everything is a blur. Once I saw her use 3 needles all at the same time. Granny has some serious knitting skills. She's a knitting ninja and Granddad is her tank top model. And doing a very good job too. Mavis is a wonder with a ball of wool. Granddad said, "This tank top is a bit special. This tank top's a bit special, isn't it, Tom?" he added and smiled at me. "It is, Granddad. Your tank top's the best," I agreed. Granddad looked a bit like a bumblebee with the stripes, but I didn't say that because I could. But I didn't say that because I could see how much he loved it. Granny was sitting in her comfy chair and already busy knitting something else. "Is that another tank top for Granddad?" I wondered. "It's a scarf, Tom. I can show you how to make your own if you want." "I don't think so. It looks tricky." But Granddad convinced me to have a go. "Go on, Tom. I've even made scarf. Your granny's an excellent teacher." Granny suddenly whipped out 2 ginormous knitting needles and a ball of very fluffy black wool. "These are what Bob used. His hands are a bit creaky, but you'll have no problem picking it up, Tom," Granny told me. I wasn't so sure. The needles looked like drumsticks, and I didn't know where to start. Granny helped me to get going, and I was concentrating so much that I almost forgot how hungry I was. Knitting wasn't what I'd been planning, but with the Granny showing me what to do, after I began to see an actual scarf appearing, kind of. I was very slow and happy when Granny took over and finished it off for me. It was easy to spot the parts I needed but I was still pleased with my handiwork. Hole, wonky, wonky. I tried the scarf on and decided the messy bits of my knitting might even become in handy. I would pretend my scarf was meant to look like that. Granny and Grandad thought I'd done a great job. "Well, Tom, you must be hungry after all that concentrating," Grandad asked. "I am," I said, sounding slightly muffled from behind my scarf. "Excellent. I've also knitted you a cake," Granny told me, which was confusing, but also exactly the sort of thing Granny would do. "She's only joking, Tom," Grandad laughed. You could see I was surprised. So Granny headed off to the kitchen. "Though I'm sure Mavis could knit a cake if she wanted to," he added. When Granny reappeared, she offered me a plate of I don't know what. After a long stare, I worked out they were made out of chocolate sponge cake with lettuce topping, cherries, and an unknown filling. Sometimes it's best not to know what's in Granny's cakes. I tried one anyway and told her it was delicious, keeping my favorite grandchild position, obviously. "Thank you, Tom." As my knitting had taken a while, Grandad offered to take me home. Thanks to his mobility scooter and super speedy driving, we got back in no time at all, even with Granny Mavis hanging onto the back in roller skates. Whee! Mom and Dad were very pleased with my hand-knitted scarf. I even showed it to Delia. "I made it myself," I told her. "No, really, I'd never have guessed." She laughed. I could I could make you one if you want, I suggested. I like my scarves without holes, but it's Uncle Kevin's birthday soon. He'd love a scarf, I'm sure. Dad thought it was a good idea too for the man who has everything. A Tom Gates scarf would be perfect. I really like my scarf and the holes were useful. I was planning to show it to Derek tomorrow. He'd be impressed, I bet. During the night there was a big storm and lots of loud banging noises which woke me up. I was too tired to get up and see what it was. I found out from Dad in the morning. Sorry about the noise last night, Tom. All that rain, the shed roof was leaking a lot. I had to run out and protect my computer and work. I thought you fixed the shed, I said. So did I. I didn't, Mum added. I'm good at DIY normally, Dad protested. I'm a bit like Tom's good at knitting, Delia joined in, which reminded me to bring my scarf with me. Oh, Tom, your grandparents called early this morning, Mum said to me. They've got something for you and want to meet you at the school gates. They seem very excited and want you to have it today. Really? It can only mean one thing, Tom. Granny's been cooking, said Delia, really enjoying herself. I hope she was wrong and it wasn't more layered chocolate sponge cakes with cherries and lettuce. I'd had enough of those. I left the house a little later than normal and Miss Derek had already gone, so I'd have to show him my scarf at school. When I arrived, the fossils were already waiting and waving from the school gates. They seemed very pleased to see me. Tom, we have something for you, Grandad said, and Granny handed over a gift bag. Derek saw me and looked slightly confused. Is it for your birthday? I don't think so. I just have lovely grandparents, I told him. My more favourite grandchild points for me. I looked inside the bag and saw a neatly wrapped present. It was very exciting. My present was attracting lot of attention from other kids, including Amy and Florence. Hey, Tom, Amy began to say. No, it's not my birthday, I interrupted. Did you forget it's now school uniform day? Florence added. I froze mid-present opening. Looking around, I was the only kid in school uniform. How did I forget it was no school uniform day? I tried really hard not to let my disappointment show on my face and carried on opening my present. And just when I thought things couldn't get worse, I knew you'd forget it was no school uniform day. I heard Marcus say. He was wearing a very nice Dude 3 t-shirt too. Like I should have been if I hadn't forgotten no school uniform day. This is perfect, Tom. I think you'll be pleased with your present, especially now, Granny and Grandad told me. I opened it and before I could say anything, Marcus shouted, Tank top! Don't get me wrong, I did like it, but a tank top wasn't exactly what I'd choose to wear on no school uniform day. It was identical to Granddad's tank top. Straight away, Granny began helping me to put it on. I had no choice. As it went over my eyes, I caught sight of Marcus smirking at me. Granddad gave me the thumbs up and told me, Mavis knitted you your very own tank top, all because you liked mine so much. With all my friends around me and the fossils looking so pleased, I couldn't say anything else but, thanks, Granny, it's the best stripy tank top I've ever had. Which was true, as I've never had a tank top before. It really does suit you, Florence added, and now you're officially part of No School Uniform Day, Derek pointed out. I was pleased about that. We'd better be off, Tom. We can't miss the start of our hot yoga class, Granny announced, while Grandad demonstrated a few flexing moves. Bob, don't peek too soon. We have to save some energy for the class, Granny told him before they waved goodbye. Derek noticed that I had the same t-shirt Derek noticed that he had the same t-shirt as Marcus as we headed into school. Look, we're matching. Those three are the best band, Derek told him. I like the t-shirt better than the band, Marcus said. And I knew you'd forget it was an old school uniform there, Tom, he added smugly. Well, at least I'll be the only person in the entire school wearing a stripy tank top, I said, trying to pretend it was a good thing. Sometimes Marcus forgetting things can work out the best, I told him. Or that's what I thought. How was I supposed to know Mr. Fullerman had a stripy tank top as well? It's no school uniform day. Hurry up and sit down, class 5F. Hey, Tom, stop. Brilliant, not in a good way. Oh, well, at least no one has a scarf like mine, so I wasn't dressed exactly the same as Mr. Fullerman after all. Nice scarf, thanks, I made it myself. You look ridiculous, you three. So, thank you for reading number 2, Tasty Treats. I might be reading it later, so stay tuned and like, share, and subscribe.